Guys, welcome back to the channel. I can't wait. I've been waiting to put this video out. We've been doing the Lake Fort things and everything like that. But here's what we're doing. Deep water perspective mode. I pretty much got it dialed in with the settings, and I know I'll tinker a little bit more as I learn more and more about this, but this is new to me. This is not something we've been using. I've kind of shied away from using perspective mode in deep water, but then I kind of stumbled across it, and I've been really trying to take advantage of it and really learn from it. And I'm going to tell you what, it's the real deal. And I'm going to tell you something else. It is a night fishing beast, especially when you get on these flats, 7, 8, 9, 10 foot. And you're looking, man, in forward mode, it's great because you can really dial in on the fish. But when you're throwing across these flats or you're fishing docks at nighttime and things like that, can't be beat. It's amazing. Let's get into this. This is going to be awesome. I'm ready to show you this. I'm ready to show you these settings. Let's take a look. All right, guys, let's get straight into this. Here are the deep water settings. I just want to give you a screen that you can look at. But here's what I want to bring into the note here. I'm out over deep water. The shallow sides are up on the sides. You can see the range. There's a few important things that I have noticed with deep water perspective mode. First of all, you want to get, when I use perspective mode, I like to stay in that 20, 30, 40 foot range because I'm really trying to see my bait. I have noticed that in perspective mode, deep water, you want to put yourself out about 50, 60, 70, even 80 feet. Now, what I'm pointing to in this picture is a dock that's over deep water. Notice the posts, notice the boards. They're very noticeable. We're going to be doing a little bit of this. I'm going to be a little bit of talking about what we're seeing at the same time, explaining to you what I have found out with this. As we're in deeper water, I want you to notice this dock. Now look off the front side of this dock. Look at the shad, and there's a bash right off them shad. That is where this is going to be an awesome tool. When you get in these open water areas or deep water areas where they have, say, trees, and we have some trees coming up here, or you have docks, you'll be able to pinpoint these fish a lot more efficiently and not having to, forward mode is great, but perspective mode is just another tool that's going to be amazing. All right, so what we're doing here, we're approaching a tree. This tree is hanging over, it's coming off the bank. It fell off the bank. It's in about 15, 16 foot of water. First of all, I want you to notice the tree here. I'm going to point an arrow to it. It was a fresh tree. It's got green leaves on it that fell in the water. Now notice, you can see that area of leaves. But if you look about mid-tree, you can see where these fish, and these are bass. I did throw a crankbait in there and catch some of these bass. But notice how that tree really pops. I'm using about 63 to 68% gain. That's amazing. Now, I want you to look up at the top screen. It's about 25 foot to the right. You see that ball of shad, and you see them fish hounding that ball of shad? That is awesome. That is where, for example, if you're out in open water and you see some schooling fish, and you're always having to wait, one of the disadvantages of schooling fish sometimes is you have to wait for them to come up to know where they're at. No, sir, not anymore. Perspective mode is going to allow you. There's that ball of shad again. Excuse me. There's that ball of shad again, about 20 foot to the right, mid-screen. You can see that ball of shad. But just notice how many fish are in the area. They're literally following this ball of shad around, kind of wolf packing them. And that is awesome. Now, here's another thing. I'm going to point something out here. And this one right here. Here is a group of fish. Now, this is a school of fish. I'm pointing to it, kind of gets a little dim in this picture, but you're going to see it here. This is a school of bass that is wolf packing a ball of shad. They're right in the middle of it. And they came up busting on the surface, caught some on a popper, caught some on a rattle trap, but out in open water, so easy to find this. If you're using forward mode, the beam is so narrow side to sidewise, you may not see them. See, here's the thing, is these fish didn't really come up busting the water real big. I just happened to see them on my perspective mode, lined it up, made some casts, and caught some fish in it. So there's an advantage to being it, because you've got a good 135-degree beam. So even if you're fishing, say, down the shallow side, you look out there and you see a school of fish schooling on some shad, you're very quickly, you don't have to wait on them to come up and hit. You're able to see them, throw out there with the proper bait, and catch some fish. Now, in this next little clip, I'm going to freeze frame it right here. You see two nice trees. These trees have been under the water for a very long time. They've been fell there for years. And they're hanging over deep water, about 15 foot. Notice the fish swimming in and out. There's fish in between them. These are things and areas that you'll be able to see those fish. You don't really have to see the depth, because when you're cranking a crankbait through it or something like that, these trees are suspended over deep water. They're not on the bottom. So you'll be able to see those fish and see where the fish are. Line your cast up. I'm telling you right now, this deep water perspective mode is going to be a game changer. Pay special attention to the settings that I have at the beginning, and make sure you get yourself away from the bank some. All right, guys, what'd you think about that? I really like it. It's getting better and better. But I tell you what, I'm super pumped about it. I hope these settings help. Experiment with this. Let me know what you see, what things you're seeing with this. I think it's going to be a great addition just to the tools and everything like that. You know, yeah, there are a lot of different ways you can use Livescope, but you don't pick up the same rod and reel every time you go fishing. You pick the tool that's best for what you're doing. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Got a video coming out today with some huge announcements. I'm telling you what, I'm pumped for the direction of the channel, and it could not have been made possible without all of you listeners and all you watchers and subscribers. Guys, this is huge. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. You know, ring the bell.